The classic scenario of crawling for attention like a lost puppy, hoping that person will finally see just how amazing you are. And what's her response? Ignoring you with the finesse of a cat staring at a laser pointer. But interestingly, the very moment you stop being the doormat, she reappears, like magic. Spoiler, it's not magic. It's just human nature being rotten. And guess what? The problem isn't her. It's you, with your free generosity of attention to someone who couldn't care less. In this video, I'm going to show you why this happens, how strategic distancing can turn the game in your favor, and most importantly, how to stop being predictable and finally be treated with the respect you swear you deserve. But fair warning, it's going to hurt to hear this. It's a slap in the face you're begging for, and maybe you don't even realize it. Now, before we proceed, let's clarify one thing. This content is only here because people with more sense than you liked, subscribed, and helped the algorithm work its magic. So do your part. Don't be a digital parasite. Like, subscribe, and drop a thanks in the comments. Not for me, but for the algorithm. Because only then will it deliver this content to more lost souls like you. No fluff. Let's get to the point. Number 1. The mistake of being the always available doormat. Let's go. Imagine this. You walk into a restaurant that's always empty. No lines, food arrives in seconds, and the prices are so low they seem like a joke. And what goes through your mind? Wow, what a find. Or, this place is sketchy, is the food going to kill me? Exactly. Just like that shady restaurant, you, who are always available, send a very clear message. I'm not a big deal. Do you reply to messages at lightning speed? Accept any invitation as if your life depends on it? Adapt to the other person's schedules and whims like a desperate chameleon? Congratulations, you've just slapped a "my time is worthless" sign on yourself. Your limitless availability screams, I have nothing better to do. Please choose me. Anything is fine. And you know what happens to something that's always there, accessible, predictable? It loses value. Because, surprise, humans only pay attention to what's rare. That's why everyone wants diamonds and nobody cares about gravel. When you act like something anyone can have effortlessly, the other person stops seeing you as special. Your availability becomes an eternal sale, and you know what people think of things that are always on clearance. If it's so cheap, it must have a flaw. Now, before you start with the "but I just want to show I care" speech, let me remind you of a basic thing. There's a stark difference between showing interest and being a walking bore. Always being available isn't cute. It's predictable. It's boring. It's like a movie without a plot twist. Nobody wants to watch it twice. Without mystery, without excitement, and without excitement, my friend, interest dies. Poof. And the worst part, this doormat behavior wrecks your self-esteem. You know you're being ignored. You feel her responses lack the same energy as yours. Every cold shoulder she gives you is an emotional stab, and in desperation, you try harder, chase more, and the more you do this, the less value you have. It's a humiliating cycle. Here comes the coup de grace. Always being available won't make her value you. It will make her treat you as something guaranteed, predictable, and eventually disposable. It's hard to hear, I know. But the good news is, you can still turn this game around. And that brings us to the next point. How mystery and distancing can be your salvation in this emotional circus. Let's dive in. Number 2, the power of making yourself missed, or how mystery and distance are your new superpowers. Now that you understand that being the human version of a 24-hour hotline is the recipe for failure, let's move to the next level. How distancing and mystery can transform you from a predictable doormat into something worth having around. First lesson. Humans are obsessed with what they can't have. Everything scarce automatically seems more valuable. Why? Because we're biologically programmed to be dramatic, basically. Want a simple example? Remember that toy you desperately wanted as a kid? What made it so special? Exactly. The fact that you couldn't have it. It was the drama of waiting. The "will it ever be mine?" Then, when you finally got it, how long did the magic last? A week? And then it just became another forgotten piece of plastic at the bottom of the drawer. In relationships, guess what? The logic is the same. When you disappear, or at least strategically distance yourself, you create something essential: space. This space is where the magic happens. It's where the other person starts to miss you, to realize that maybe, just maybe, your presence isn't guaranteed. And before you come with the "this is manipulation" whining, let me interrupt you. No, it's not. This is you learning not to devalue yourself by handing over something that should be earned. When you're always there, the person doesn't even have time to notice your absence. There's no contrast, you see. You're like toilet paper. You're there, useful, but nobody thinks much about you until you're gone. Now, when you distance yourself, she starts to wonder, what is he doing? Is he seeing someone else? Did I do something wrong? These questions create interest. And more importantly, they create value, because suddenly you're not so obvious anymore. But beware. Distancing isn't about becoming a ninja and disappearing from the person's life. It's about learning to dose your presence. Create an air of mystery. Don't share every detail. Don't reply to messages instantly. And this is crucial, don't be predictable. Predictability is the poison of desire. People fall for what challenges them, what's exciting, what can't be easily deciphered. So stop being an open book and turn yourself into an enigma. Trust me, it's way more interesting to be a puzzle than a microwavable meal recipe. Want a practical example? Here it is. Imagine you're the king of good mornings. Every single day, at 8 a.m. sharp, there's your punctual message, like a human alarm clock. At first, it's sweet, maybe even cute. But over time, it becomes routine, automatic, boring. Now, cut that out. Stop sending it. What happens? Silence. And that's where the power lies. She notices the absence, misses you, and more importantly, starts to wonder, why did he stop? But remember, the mystery game isn't about turning into a cheap telenovela actor and manipulating feelings. It's about showing that your life doesn't revolve around her. Who's interesting? Someone with hobbies, priorities, their own schedule. Who's uninteresting? The desperate one who seems to be on standby to reply hi in 3 seconds. And for the love of all that is sacred, this doesn't mean you need to become an emotional fridge. The idea here isn't to be cold but strategic. Show that your attention isn't a fast food promotional giveaway. It's a luxury item, a privilege. Balance presence and absence intelligently. Reply to messages without rush. Leave 1 or 2 topics hanging. Don't accept every invitation as if it's the last chance of your life. Small gestures like this create a space where interest can flourish. And look, this isn't about revenge or punishment. It's simply a way to adjust expectations and show that you're someone with self-worth. Someone who isn't for sale at any price, any day, any hour. Enough with this emotional punching bag nonsense. Are you tired of being the ego's lunchbox, right? Always available, accepting any emotional garbage and still saying thanks. Ridiculous. So, pay attention. Turn off that supreme doormat mode right now. There's a book in the description that's not some self-help nonsense, but a manual on not being a sucker. It will teach you how to get out of that pathetic, I'm too nice life and become someone any woman respects. And if she doesn't respect you, tough luck for her. Stop begging for attention. You're not a clearance sale item for anyone to grab at banana prices. Wake up. It's time to become the guy who, if he's not valued, simply doesn't care. Because, my friend, those who want you, chase you. Those who don't? Good luck with the next sucker she finds. Number 3. How to finally stop being the court jester and put this into practice. Now that you understand the power of distancing and mystery, the question that won't stay silent. All right, but how do I do this without seeming like a creepy manipulator? The answer is simple. Balance. It's not about turning into an emotional psychopath, but about showing through your actions that you have a life and priorities beyond her. So here are the practical strategies for you to turn the game around without losing your dignity, or the little that's left of it. Slow down your messaging pace. There's the classic mistake, replying to messages in seconds as if you're training to become a telemarketer. Stop that now! You don't need to disappear, but learn to give pauses in the conversation. Reply when you can. And no, that doesn't mean immediately. Show that you have other things going on, even if it's just pretending to be busy. This gives the person time to miss you and wonder, what is he doing? Don't accept invitations immediately. She suggests something, control the urge to jump at the first opportunity. Resist. It's not about blowing her off, but about showing that you're not just there waiting for a chance to be noticed. Say something like, I'll see if I can. Simple as that. It makes it seem like your schedule is booked, even if it's just you and your cat in there. When you finally agree, the meeting becomes an event, not just another predictable plan. Create an interesting life, for real. And here's the crucial point. Be interesting. It doesn't help to pretend mystery while your life revolves around stalking her Instagram, waiting for new stories. Find hobbies, read a book, go to the gym, learn an instrument, or do anything that doesn't involve staying home waiting for a message. People are attracted to those who have passions and goals. It makes you seem like someone who has something to offer, instead of just being an emotional parasite. Be unpredictable. Predictability is the cemetery of interest. If she knows exactly what to expect from you, where's the fun? Alternate between closeness and distance. Be a walking surprise. A good tactic is to leave conversations unfinished, because let's face it, you have better things to do. Change the subject before she notices you're signing off. This creates curiosity and keeps the dynamic alive. Set boundaries, because you're not an emotional Uber. If you don't have boundaries, congratulations, you're a blank slate where anyone can scribble. And you know what that communicates? That your time is worth as much as a chocolate coin. So start being selective. Don't engage in conversations that don't interest you. Don't accept last-minute plans unless there's something really worth it. This doesn't make you difficult, but someone who values their own time. And spoiler, people respect that. Practice strategic silence. Speak less, impress more. Silence is a weapon that can make more noise than any rushed message. When she sends something, breathe. You don't need to reply at lightning speed. It's not about being rude. It's about remembering that the world won't end if you don't respond immediately. Show that you have other priorities. And let's be honest, nobody admires someone who seems glued to their phone waiting for attention all the time. Control the fear of missing out. Because honestly, missing what? Many stumble at this part. The fear of pushing the other person away makes them stay in that pathetic cycle of extreme availability. But here's the harsh reality. If she distances herself because you started prioritizing yourself, it's because she was never truly interested. Someone who likes you will find your self-confidence sexy, not a reason to run away. Let go of that ridiculous fear of losing, and understand that you are the prize here, not the other way around. Use challenges to heat up the mood. Play, but the right way. Boring conversations kill any interest. So, add a bit of excitement. Throw out simple challenges like, guess where I am right now, or I have something to tell you, but I'll only share it later. It sounds silly, but it sparks curiosity and creates a dynamic of anticipation. It's like seasoning a bland meal. It becomes irresistible. All of this isn't about becoming a cheap manipulator, but about valuing yourself. Adjusting your availability and prioritizing yourself sends a clear message. I know my worth. And when you do this, people start to notice too. Your attention stops being something anyone can have and becomes something worth fighting for. Now, to wrap things up with style, let's recap how to maintain this balance in the long run without slipping back into doormat mode. Because once you start valuing yourself, there's no excuse to go back to being a rug. And there's the key to the game. It's not about crawling behind or disappearing like a protected witness. It's about finding balance. Understand, always being available is the foolproof recipe to become the emotional consolation prize. When you adjust your stance and prioritize your life, the message is clear. It's not punishment nor drama, it's self-priority. When you apply strategic distancing and add a touch of mystery, the magic happens. Suddenly, she starts to realize that your presence has value. She misses you. She wonders why you changed. And most importantly, she understands that your attention isn't something guaranteed, but something that needs to be earned. And the best part, you don't need to pretend or manipulate. Just be the best version of yourself. The one that knows your worth and demands to be treated accordingly. Now it's your turn. Take these strategies and act. Because talking is easy, but acting is what separates the losers from those who truly change the game. And of course, if you've already experienced something like this, share it in the comments. I want to know how it went. Oh, and before you go, let's agree on this. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. Not for me, but because the algorithm needs to understand that you're tired of being a sucker and want to turn things around. See you in the next video.